pictures. Mm-hmm.
I never looked to see if Gulf of Cali's still swarming, but they're getting lots of little quakes up by Vancouver. So
yeah. Oh my God!
3.9 San Andreas today too.
What the hell? Okay, that's that. All right. There's that. No. Video. Guess that didn't work. Wow, that didn't work either. Huh. All right, cool. And do we have morning? Okay, cool. We're there. All right, let's go back to here. All righty then. I guess we started up and let me. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Saturday Night Rabbit Hole. Wait a minute, there's no volume. Oh. Share screen.
Mute.
Screen. Window. There we go. Loading. There you go. All right. Oh, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Saturday Night Rabbit Hole. It's February 22, 2025, and with me, not in studio, but online, in a virtual studio, everybody.
Yeah.
Virtual! That didn't work. Virtual! Oh, shit. There you go. Virtual! All right, push the wrong button.
Yeah, at least it wasn't.
Try to work it all out.
Wasn't the beat button.
Well, it's working good for those on Twitch. I got 30 degrees here, Mickey Mouse. Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Tonight is a seismic update. We're going to start with what we do in the morning. If you haven't seen a morning report at twitch.tv/Joe Slick Live, Monday through Friday, at 7 to 8, somewhere in there in the morning, until about 9:30, 10 o'clock, depending on what goes on. If there's nothing to report, it goes quicker. If it's a lot to report, it stays longer. Solar wind right now is 310. Proton density is at 1.32 protons per cubic meter. We've had an M4 in the last 24 hours, baby. Yeah. 98 sunspot has gamma, delta, beta, delta magnetic field, beta, gamma, delta. So BGD, all right? Harbors energy enough for X flares. And guess what? Everybody? You ain't gonna believe it. Yeah. Let me see, where are we? Dun, 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 dun. Show on stream. Yeah, watch this. 98 is pointed right at Earth. Earth is right freaking here. This sunspot has power for X flares. Are you ready for an X? I'll let that one go.
Yeah.
We don't need no stinking X's. But anyway, I digress. Welcome to the rabbit hole, everybody. All right. So back to it. We talked Friday about the peaking of the southern hemisphere on the sun, and this little image right here in the middle. This is the northern hemisphere peaked up with a number of sunspots, and then the southern is peaked up big time. And it just so happens 98 is right there. 39, 98 is right on us. And it has energy enough for an X flare. So we talked about it. With no CMEs this weekend, though, heading to Earth, our planet's magnetic field should remain calm and quiet through the weekend. Yeah, at least 3 days anyway. KP is under 3, not to worry. There's no real significant corner hole. However, there's this one right here that's coming around. Should be coming around, and these all 3 meet. Got some nice stuff coming around the corner here. So if we went and checked out the Lasco, share this tab instead. What? Hey, there it goes. God bless America. This is the current Lasco image. And you see, boom, there's a little one. Oh, that was a good one there. Don't know if that's coming out or going away. And there's not a whole lot of bright. Look at that. Oh, did you see that on that side? Oh, yeah, there was a halo coming right. Something, that M4 came right at us. All right, so that's what I got to say. We do have something coming at us, but it'll be weak. You can see it emanate a real light cloud all the way around. Yeah. Doesn't look like a whole lot. No, it's really light. You can see it out here. So some that'll squishy. You know, needs to check his shorts here. Let's look at the magnetopause. And you can see it's there's no dynamic pressure as of yet, but if we went back one day and you saw dynamic pressure stays low, standoff distance is about 16. Proton density stays between 1 and 2. The BZ stays in the north up to a 5. Nope. Stayed in the south up to a 5, then jammed up to the north at a 6. It stays in the equatorial region. I call it 7-7 on, or even 10. 10 to the north, 10 to the south is the equatorial region of the BZ. When we start to see it get into 23 to 50, we know some activity could possibly happen in that hemisphere, whatever it is, either positive or negative. Protons stay low. The wind is like almost nil. And looking at what the Weather Prediction Center says, doesn't look like a whole lot. Plasma's on the top rung. On the bottom is the radial velocity of the sun. And it really just says we're going to low down to today and tomorrow, maybe pick up just a hair by a Monday, and a little bit of plasma coming at us. Should be here fully by the 24th. It's just a little bit. Maybe there's an aurora, maybe not. So don't count on it if you're looking for the auroras. We'll look at the X-ray. We just had one. Shoot, howdy. I mean, we just now had a 4.88. So that M4 happened just when we were trying to come on. Wow.
Yeah. It was when we were eating our Kit Kats and M&Ms.
Yeah, Kit Kat and M&Ms. Yeah. Happened at 210, and here we're at 236. So look at there, baby. Again, I've been staring at the computer all damn day. So my eyeballs are like dilated or something. I don't know. Yeah, class M chance is 45% and X is at 10. Geomagnetic storms, only 15%, so it's not a whole lot. Today's this 22nd. There are 4 rocks out there. 2 of them are 0.4 lunar distances away. Let me tell you how many miles that is. You know, it's 341, 381, right? 384, 401. Clear. 384, 401 divided by 240,250 miles, 1 lunar distance. So we multiply that by what, 4? 96 miles separate. So, 150,000 miles. And let's see. $150,000 miles. See, I'm just looking to see if there's anything in that 150,000 miles range that might get into trouble. Oh yeah, there's some things. So ISIS is at 250 miles, so it's not a whole lot, but we're talking 150,000 miles. So 4/10, right? 240 minus 96, right? Clear 240, 250 minus 96,000. About 144,000 miles up there. That's still way higher than any of our satellites. So nothing's in danger. Of these rocks on the 22nd here, I mean, they're between us and the moon, but the moon's like, what, 3 days, right? It takes a light speed to go 3.5 seconds from the Earth to the moon. 186,000 miles per second, multiplied by whatever, right? Or I think that's how it is. Is that how it is, bud?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, 186,000 miles per second. So this is flying at 6.7 kilometers per second. And the other one, well, that's the 22 here. 15.4 kilometers per second, and it's only 9 feet across. There's one that's about 8 kilometers a second, and it's 120 feet across, right? That Y4 rock that's going to come out and hit us in 34 or 24, right? Yeah, 34, right?
32, I thought.
32? All right.
I think 20.
Was it after Apophis or before Apophis? I think it's coming in 26.
I thought it was Apophis. I thought it was.
Yeah, Apophis is 29.
Yeah, 2029.
Yeah, but the other one is the smaller one of it is going to plug us, they said. And it's a city killer, so they're worried about that.
Yeah.
And I think it's only a couple hundred feet across.
It's going to target Damascus.
Yeah. Well, maybe it's going to hit the black box. You know where the black box is?
Yeah.
In Mecca. Yeah, the alien black box in Mecca there. Maybe it's going to hit that thing.
Yeah, because Nasrallah's funeral is supposed to be tomorrow, so that should be.
Nazir?
No, Nasrallah from Lebanon.
Who's that?
The guy they took out in September.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Nasrallah?
Yeah, Nasrallah, yeah. Because they're having it in a big stadium, I guess.
Might pose a good opportunity.
Yeah, because everything's gone silent, but that's another story.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. We'll run with it. Yeah. Anyway, so there's not a whole lot there. All right. So looking at the tremors today, if there are any in the Pacific Northwest, just a few that happened up here by Redding. Now, some of these are pretty deep. Let me see if I download, select the type as CSV, download it, desktop. All right. Let me download it, open up. All right. So they are, let me see, sort. Sort, go smallest to largest. On C, sorry. Sort, smallest to largest. Custom sort. Sort by depth. Okay. Yeah, between 20 and 60 kilometers. Half of them are at 20 and the other half are about 33, 21 to 33. These vibrations. So if you don't know what that means is these are vibrations that are happening deep in the crust or under the crust for that matter. Ancient North America is right here. So is Shasta and Mount Lassen volcanic complex. And there's another few out here, volcanic complexes out here. And this is, like I said, ancient. So right there's Mount Shasta. So Shasta's up here. These are well below Shasta. Subduction zone starts right about here. And this is the Mendocino Ridge right about here. And then there's a slab window right about here. And then the San Andreas virtually starts up here. So this triple junction, Mendocino triple junction, is like right here. 3 plates, right? And they also call this the Mendocino plate, microplate, because it does funny stuff. And for 20 kilometers down there on these, and all the way down to 60, I wish we had a plot where we can see them sideways, that would be very helpful, but we don't have that. Unfortunately.
Yeah, with proper angles, how they're going, which I
Yeah. This 2D dimension is problematic because it doesn't really help us understand the dynamics here. Now, I can show you somebody out there playing some music. Heat map, right? There's the, I say it's more hotter, but I think it's really just a way to tell you the depths, more shallow. See the yellow is more deeper and the green and blue more shallow, right? Because there's a whole much more of that. And that kind of tells you that there is some, like here's a little bit up here and a little bit here. It kind of gives you some dimension, for what these things are kind of looking like. If I did the day before, it was right up here by Medford, right? And if I did the day before, a little bit there where we're talking about by Medford, the day before, 34. Again, Medford in this area. A lot of it happens down in the south here. And you'll see up by Olympia on the 18th, also in our area that we're talking about now. You can see, although there are anomalies out here, these are some of the vibrations happening. Clearly, there's a line of something more distinct coming, from Mendocino through that area. Where? Well, guess what? There's Shasta. So I would suggest that that's what this is going towards. Some vibration, some magma entering the tubes that, govern that. Or that could just be the edge of the plate. Because there is a slab window, right? Meaning there's no plate underneath right here, under this little section. And then this is all upper plate, right? And then there, San Andreas down here, it doesn't have a subduction zone. So subducting plate melts, creates volcanoes. That's what the Cascades are. And there's nothing to melt down here. So it should, in theory, pop up right here. But it's pretty thick here because it's ancient North America. So that being said, we'll move on. How about any buoys? Whoops, sorry.
Go up and see if there's any tremors up by Vancouver Island where the 5 was by Vancouver.
Okay. Yeah, the Vancouver 5 happened, 2 days ago?
Yesterday.
Yeah.
5.1 according to NRCan, but USGS said.
I had it at 5.1, and it came in, USGS had it like 4.7 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I counted it as a 5.1. So what date was that?
Yesterday.
21.
So Sophie got shook up in her tower in Vancouver. That she's.
Yeah, there is a little bit of vibrations up in there, to tell you the truth. Just a couple.
Yeah, that's what people were saying today.
Yeah.
Tremors up there.
They're relatively shallow.
Yeah.
You know?
Because that's an unusual spot for a quake. They've had a few 3s and 4s there before, but when I looked it up, it's like up on top of the coastal range mountains. So
looking at the USGS,
where it shook the most was like up higher.
3.4 in Washington today, right? Tacoma, between Seattle and Tacoma. If I did a search of 7 days all, and you can see in downtown Victoria had a 2.3. Just in our area that we're talking about, USGS says it a 4.8. Let me see. They're not showing. Show this on stream. Here you go. Here's the 4.8 right here in Vancouver. Here's the Victoria 2.3, and they had a 1.5 explosion.
Had a 4 point whatever.
1.6, 1.6, and then Tacoma had a 3.4. This is 7 days, so clearly a line here. Now, we've done several searches on this area, and I'm going to go ahead and do another one, and I want to show you something.
The 4.7 or 4.8, whatever it was.
4.8?
Too, yeah. Up between Grand Cache and Grand Prairie, Alberta.
All right. So I'm going to show you something that I find interesting just about this area that we're using. And I'll share this tab. Right. This is a search I just did. All right. These are everything above a 4. I want to point something out that stands out immediately when you do a search of from 2000 to 2025, 4 and above. What's the first thing that stands out? Well, that there's a lot of earthquakes, right? 2, a lot of earthquakes offshore. 3, there's several holes in this search.
Yeah. And it's
so
going around.
The big worry that is the Cascade, right? Subduction zone.
Yeah.
Right? So remember when you're thinking about the Cascades, right? We're going to jump to another area, and I'm going to show you some differences between the Cascade arc and the other arcs that are producing quakes. Usually from the point of the subduction in between 120 to 125 miles is the volcanic arc in a subduction zone. That's just standard, kind of. Can be a little further in, it can be a little closer in. It depends if there's a triple junction involved. We're not going there. Just want to point something out here. Lots of vibrations in clusters, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 areas. Right in here, there was a 6.4 that happened in 2011. Right? So if I went for the largest magnitude first, the 7.8 happened way up here, Prince Rupert, in 2012.
Yeah.
Right? Then we had down here at the bottom in California in 2005, a 7.2. Offshore Mendocino, right down that same location, 7.0. 6.8, back up here off Vancouver, right? 6.8, back down here, Mendocino. Interior, 6.8, strongest quake, and that was in Olympia. Strongest quake, I think, in Washington in a very long time. That happened in 2001.
Yep.
And then 6.7, right there, Port McNeil, up in the north, 6.6, back down here, Mendocino, back up to Prince Rupert, 6.6, Port McNeil, 6.6, Ferndale back to Mendocino, Port McNeil, 6.5, Port McNeil, 6.5, Port 6.5, 6.5, and then back down to California. What we're seeing is two sections constantly have very large earthquakes.
Well,
Port
last
McNeil,
year we had the 6 point whatever up there. Tip of
yeah,
Vancouver
it's in the
Island.
list. Yeah.
And then the 7 we just had at Mendocino.
And then this region here happened 2019, right? And then we're back to Prince Rupert. Okay. So Oregon does get a few quakes, but 90% happened up here and down here. So why not along this trench? Why not in here? This is the area that's supposed to explode. They said this year that the axial seamount will erupt. It hasn't done so since 2020, or big earthquakes anyway. And in that same time period, the largest earthquake on land was the 6.8 up there, except for if you come down into Cali and you'll see, 6.2, 6.4, right? Several up here, 5s, right? This little swarm way up here. But the largest quake, 6.8, virtually a 7 if we looked at it. And share this tab instead. Nice little non-strike slip earthquake. Ooh. Yeah. Take a look at the origins. And they got it at 6.8. Probably a 7.2. Right? 10,000 people reported this one. But that happened when? 2001. So the idea that it's supposed to be, the Cascade's going to rock and roll and, kill everybody. Come on. That's clickbait. It can, sure. But the likelihood is way less than something happened between the Queen Charlotte and Mendocino on both ends. So everybody, it's gonna. How do you know that? How do you know? So I find it difficult to watch these people who fearmonger people into saying, it.
Well, I think Southern San Andreas has to have an 8 or near 8 before.
I'm more inclined, and there's a reason why I'm more inclined, as you are, looking at the last, 30 days? I'm on 30 days. Let me see. I'm at 7 days. Looking at the last 7 days. Earthquakes. This region up here, not a whole lot of earthquakes. Down here, a lot more earthquakes. The orange ones are telling you what's more active, more recent, right? But even that 4.8, USGS calls it, Canada calls it a 5.1. We can look that up. I don't know where. Right there. We'll look at this one. What's Canada call it? Zooming in. They call it 4.7 now. Came in as a 5.1. Oh, 5, yeah, a little over 5. So.
Well, they must have changed it to match the USGS, I guess.
Yeah. I disagree. It's a 5.1. But hey, whatever.
Because they felt it all the way into the Fraser Valley. That was as far inland as it went. So Fraser River, Straight Creek Fault, same thing.
Yeah.
And
that's up in here.
Victoria, Vancouver.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what they said for as far north. Prince Rupert, maybe.
Well, again, looking at this series of quakes, share this tab here. Looking at this series of quakes here, since 2020 until now, there's a a swarm there, little one here, little one there, quite a big one, and yet you see the earthquakes kind of meander inland, right up here. They don't meander in right here. Why?
Yeah,
you have to ask that question.
Going around the edge.
Going around the edge. That's my supposition, and that's what Canuck just said he believes as well. This is the edge of the Juan de Fuca that's driving down. There's kind of a V here. You want to talk about a triangle? Well, there's an empty triangle right here from Spokane to Medford, and Medford to Salt Lake, back to Spokane. There's your invisible triangle. And that's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting also is this area right here where the missing slab is. That's got some quakes, but then we have the big quakes over here by the volcano, right? Here's that Clear Lake, just north of it anyway. So nice line of quakes right into Reno, right? Hey, you can't deny it. Straight freaking line, straight line. Why does it spread out more? It's whatever.
Yeah, Temblor has an article about that now too, about the Mendocino 7 and the Yerington quake now.
Yeah,
trying to figure out if they're connected, which is kind of funny.
Yeah. Yeah. And in Hills had a 4.5 right there, and then 5.7, and then all those other ones. But I believe it's coming out of this one, and I think it's the if you want to call it the Walker Lane, if you want to call it the Texas Liniment, it doesn't matter. They're both the same on that up in this section. And notice something else. Again, this is a search of 5 years, 4 and above. What do you notice about the Mendocino? Most of it is north or on the Mendocino, not south. Yeah. Why is that? I ask a lot of questions, but you have the answers. You're the listeners. You figure it out. When you figure it out, come back and let's have a talk. I'm just going to put it on the table and you figure it out. If you got an idea, man, we'll listen.
Well, Temblor has an article about that too.
That's good.
Because I just looked at all the new ones here before.
Yeah, cool.
I was skimming them to see.
Well, that should give those who are listeners and followers, a way to figure it out. This is the last 7 days.
And they have a new one about the Caribbean 7 point.
Right up in here, right? Yeah. There's Walker Lake. Oh, yeah. And I think the USGS just made their headquarters up by Reno anyway.
And they have Temblor has another new one that says branch faults off the main ones is what sets off the big quake sequences. So I thought that was interesting. That's one of their studies.
Well, things are moving, and what can we do? So we looked at space weather. We looked at what's happening in the Pacific Northwest. How about we look at some volcano news? Yeah. Share this tab instead. All right. Tolika volcano. All right. It's Central America. No MS observed, but it's doing something. It's in the news. Volcanoes today, Santa Guido, Simiru, and Little Toby. Santa Guido down there, just north of this other one. And north of Fuego in Guatemala. Little Toby, you look for the seahorse, and right at the foot, Little Toby popping to 6,000. It's like a 5,000 something foot mountain. Simiru, they're in Java. Bali's right here, right next to Bali, and there's Simiru. 12,003, 14,000 is the height. And that's it for, this is early in the day for them. White Island in 2,000 foot intermittent. It's a small little island in the catcher's mitt of New Zealand, Northern Ireland. It's got some activity. It's been having some activity over a while. There's Iwu and Honamarhara, 8,000 foot. It's a 4,600 foot mountain and shooting ash up to 8,000. Sakurajima volcano in the southern portion of Honshu, right? And what is it? 8,000 foot. Exploded. Now, Tolika volcano. Yeah. 5,000 foot. Now, I don't know how tall it is. We'll check it out right now. 3,400 foot in Nicaragua. Still, a couple of interesting volcanoes have been active in the south here since the 7.6. We still have yet to see any real measurable power pop up and respond, telling us that the pressure moves in one way or another. Santa Guido still saying hello, 14. It's always going to do that. Little Toby, again, yesterday, 10,000 foot. A little stronger out of there, 5,600. Simiru. Yep, there you go. Sunozajima, still out there. It's 2,800 foot mountain island, popping to 6,000. Little Tolo, up from Little Toby, Little Tolo, 6,000 is the height, and 5,000 out of White Island again. Canloan up there in Philippines, the middle of the Philippines, 9,000. That's pretty close to the height of the mountain, nothing there. 8,000 Ibu to Kono, boom, boom, boom. It's only like 45 miles across, and two major volcanoes that are exploding back and forth. Yeah, at 8,000 and 9,000 respectively. Bing, 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 bing. Tokono and Ibu. And White Island still smoking. 6,000. Going back in time. In Colombia, Navarro del Ruiz, there it's burping, but nothing big right now happening. Little Toby, again, 9,000 feet. Simiru at 15 out of 12.3, about 2,000 foot explosion. Reventador there in Ecuador. It's erupting, but you can't really see it. It's probably just farting in the wind. Santa Guido, same thing there in Guatemala. Keeps coming up, right? And Kyushu, Japan. It's not Sakurajima. It's not on. Yeah, it's on Kyushu, not on Honshu. Sorry. 7,000 feet out of Kyushu. Ibu, 7,000. Tokono, 9,000. Little Toby, 7. Navarro, about 4,000 foot. Beyond the top, 9,000. Popo, Popocatépetl there in Mexico City, 20,000. It's a 17.8 going to 20, so 2,200 foot pop. Simiru, normal. It's normal. Sunozajima, exploded. 5,000. That's Sunozajima. That's a little island off Japan. About 300-400 miles, I think. And it's not doing a whole lot, but it's doing it. Atka volcano, the Aleutians, we already talked about that happening. So So in Canada, we looked at the earthquakes, and we looked at the volcanoes, and we looked at the
Bardabunga had a 5 today.
Bardabunga. I haven't got to the earthquakes on EMSC yet.
Yeah.
Share this tab. Alrighty. Zooming in. There you go. Right on. We'll go all back, 12 hours or so. Yeah. And looking for anything above a 4, I saw a 4.6. Eastern Papua New Guinea, 4.6. Central California banging away at a couple of 3s. Eritrea. I don't know where the hell that is.
Yeah, Eritrea is right next to Ethiopia.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So that's got a 4.6. Santorini, a little 3. So Santorini's calmed down substantially. Southern Fiji's got an earthquake at 4.6 at 560 kilometers in depth. That is nowhere near the crust, everybody. There's no human being that will get down to that level. Why? You'll burn up. You'll melt. And so probably what it's happening is that the crust that's subducted is banging on the lower mantle, the lower extremities of the upper mantle. That's probably what's going on. And 4.8 Oaxaca, strong quake in Oaxaca. That's Mexico, southern Mexico. Western Texas banging away with a couple of deuces. Eastern New Guinea, 4.6. Looks like I see Italy, northern Italy, a half. Okay, it's not nothing. It's nothing there. Java, 3.3, 3.3. Iceland, there we go. 8 kilometers depth of 5.1. That happened 6 hours ago. What was it? Here we go. My favorite volcano. I just like the way it sounds. Cyprus region, little deuce. Southern Sumatra, 2.6. Iceland, 2.8. Veracruz, Mexico, that's the interior side of the Gulf of America, where Mexico touches it. So Veracruz, Mexico, 3.8. Guadalajara, 3.7. Southern Sumatra, again, 2.9. When that gets into 5s, I worry about the volcano Krakatoa. 5.4 off of Chile. Southern Chile, a 5.4. Solomon Islands come up with a 5.3. That's just north of Vanuatu.
Yeah,
and east of PNG.
When I was eating my Kit Kats.
Yeah. All these happened about 4 hours ago. Jalisco, Mexico comes in a 3.4. Guerrero, Mexico, 3.3. Southern California popped with a 3.4. I didn't see a 3.4 in Southern Cal. Terrain. All right. And when did they bring that back?
Yeah, they just fixed all the maps today, I think.
I'm like, hey, now they got satellite, street, terrain, ocean, grayscale, and topographic.
Yeah.
Terrain.
Yeah, them changing it to Gulf of America, not to the offline.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Messed it all up, just changing one thing.
Freaking commies crying about it, eh?
Yeah.
All right. Use faults. Plate boundaries are there. 1 day, all mags. All right. San Gorgonio, 3.5 in Cabazon. All right. Southern Cal did have one. Yeah, this is Big Bear. So those people who know about Big Bear, that's where this is. Street. Yeah, maybe not. Topographic. There you go. Big Bear Lake's right up in here. Oh, you can't see it. Sorry. Share this tab instead. Big Bear Lake's right up in here. Okay, Southern California. So that's the 3.5 Cabazon. All right. And then Central Cali is going at 2.6. We saw that already. Northern Cal with 3 on Fiji comes in a shallow 5.3. Now that's in the crust. All right, so it's not below the crust. That's a strong quake. That will seriously do damage, and I don't believe there's any tsunamis involved. Southern Sumatra, there we go again. Here's a 4.7. Why is that significant? Share this tab. Right here, it's Krakatau or Junior, right? We're getting some of these quakes in Southern Sumatra, which is, Java's the lower island, Sumatra's the upper island. Both of these where the big quakes happen, mostly on Sumatra. However, when we see 5s in this region here, because there's a plate boundary, I think, that goes right through the middle of these, and Krakatau sits right on the middle of it, because this all turns inward and as it subducts. But anyway, that little spot right there, you get any 5s in here and that thing will smoke. 4.7 Southern Sumatra. Danger, Will Robinson, danger. Honshu, Japan had a 4. Eastern New Guinea, PNG had a 4.5. And then the Solomons come in with a 5.6. Now, Solomons, both 4.9 and a 5.6. Strong quakes. We just had quakes here in the Santa Cruz Islands. Vanuatu's here. So that power is moving in that direction, or it's breaking backwards because the weakest spot was out front, and now the back's following in. It had to make room for it to flow. It's not breaking that direction, although it appears that way. The break actually moved southeast, but the back pressure is quaking, following it, the fill-in, so to speak. In my opinion, that is. Zooming out. 7 minutes ago was a 3-3 off the coast of New Zealand, Northern Island. Or by White Island, everybody. Banging away, ba-ding-binga-dinga-binga-dinga. So, interesting there. And let me see here. Yeah. All right. And close that. Not seeing anything there. Nothing there. Yeah. Kind of odd that we got that. Looking at the current Santorini from Fibro. Yeah. I don't know what the hell. There you go. Interesting how he's got it going. I'm going to share that with you so you can see it real quick. Fibro, go ahead and subscribe if you'd like, please. Support him. Here's the depth. I wish we had this kind of thing here in the middle, up there in Pacific Northwest. That would tell us a lot more, give us a lot more understanding of what's happening in the vibration areas. And that's what we're seeing. We're seeing earthquakes and vibrations, harmonic tremors and the like. Earthquakes are relatively deep now. They're 13 kilometers tangular, all the way up to 8 kilometers. However, the magnitude stays about 3 3.5. We haven't seen 5s in a while. I mean, today. All right. So don't panic. It ain't the end of the world.
No, not until the planetary alignment on February.
Right. Yeah. Speaking of planetary alignments,
Because everybody's been talking about that, the planetary.
tell me about it, dude. Oh, it's planetary alignment. If you're looking for Uranus, I don't know how to help you.
Yeah.
But speaking of planetary alignments, here you go. Saturn, Neptune are off to here. Ceres is out here. Ceres is a rock planet that is between Mars and Jupiter. And I think Planet X is between Earth and Mars. I don't see it on here, but there's Eris way the hell out there. Waimea and Meg are out there. Neptune and Pluto's way down here on the other side. Eh?
All I know is that if
Uranus, Jupiter, Mars, straight line.
Uranus is off kilter, you're in trouble.
Yeah, if Uranus is off kilter, then you're probably walking like a crab somewhere.
Yeah, you need a realignment.
You need a realignment. Go see a chiropractor. Yeah. All right. So let's see. What else we got going on? We already watched earlier the Icelandic video. Did you see that one?
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah.
He didn't have anything new.
No, he just said that they're waiting for it to do its thing. If it's going to.
Right.
And it's like past the time they thought, so it might have more magma to come up than last time. So we'll see what it does. Because they're still worried that too much is going to come down there and it's going to go over the berms, the Blue Lagoon, and turn it into the Lava Lagoon.
Yeah.
Instead.
I'm trying to look at
what it was anyway, originally. So Lava Lagoon before they put the blue water there.
Interesting in the news here in the States, Pam Bondi's checking out the classified Epstein documents.
Oh, yeah, there's all sorts.
How much you want to bet somebody cleaned those? Yeah. Somebody got their name erased or somebody got their name added. Yeah. Yeah. So your name's on the list, man. Look, I'm not allowed to fly, I don't think. I don't have one of them, you know. Did you see Elon Musk at the what do you call that there? The conservative group there where the president was today?
Yeah, CPAC, yeah.
CPAC, yeah. You see
Trump's speech today, so he made some interesting comments about.
Oh yeah, what did you find interesting?
So I don't know what's going.
What did you find interesting? I'm interested because you're a Canuck.
Yeah, well, he was just talking about what he normally talks about, which I've heard 10 billion times, but
yeah,
then he added other things because he hadn't said too much about the hostage thing.
Right. He's not happy about that shit. I know that.
Yeah. So he said a bunch of stuff today, and he said, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. So because I think something's going to happen tomorrow. Based upon what Netanyahu's saying, and Rubio said something yesterday or today, too, that was weird. So, I don't know. And they got the last final 6 hostages home of the first phase today, but there's videos of Hamas with 2 other hostages that haven't been released yet. They were sitting in a car at gunpoint watching the whole thing at where they parade the 6 ones around today. So they know that there's at least 2 other ones that are alive because they were there at the when Hamas puts them all on stage and gets them to wave to everybody and they do all their thing. Well, there's videos of 2 other Israeli hostages in a car that weren't released, so they'd be ones that they're going to release in the next round were there too, because Hamas posted it. So I guess Israel wasn't too happy about that either. So
No.
yeah, so it's not going to be good, I don't think. But what Netanyahu has said the last 24 hours, and Nasrallah's funeral thing is tomorrow at 1 p.m.
I guess they just found Shari Biba's body and they gave it to him. The other person who was dead, they don't know who the hell that was.
Yeah, some woman. And they did the autopsy report on the 2 kids, which I heard all about that, so it's not too good. So
what happened now?
Yeah, so they know exactly how they were killed.
Yeah.
And it was from bombing. So
no.
Yeah. So,
Well, time to go in and fucking mow them sucking bitches down, man.
I just find it. And then they had the terrorist attack there that they thwarted. It was supposed to 3 buses blew up, but it was supposed to be on 15 buses and 5 trains. This was all in the last 2 days.
Yeah.
And they found out that the bombs were smuggled from Iran through Syria, through Jordan, and then into the.
That's pretty hard to do, man.
Yeah.
Now, that's pretty damn hard to do right now. Israel's bombing the shit out of everybody when they see a truck full of bombs. So
yeah,
that's pretty hard to do.
So it's not good. Too happy about that either. So I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, because all this stuff all seems to be happening at the same time, where the first phase of the hostage deal is done, and then you have Nasrallah's funeral, which is at 1 p.m. tomorrow, Sunday, Israel and Lebanon time. And there's supposed to be like, I forget how many they said at the stadium, 80,000, and there's people there from Iran. And
there you go. Well,
all sorts of crazy stuff. So we're going to see that.
How many terrorists do you think are in that group? 80,000.
Well, this would be Hezbollah plus whoever else is there for the funeral, right? So it'd be all Hezbollah people, because Lebanon is all like shut down tomorrow because it's in.
You drop Moab in the middle of it.
Yeah,
maybe a couple of Moabs.
So I don't know. It's going to be
kill too many people.
Interesting.
Innocent people. I don't know. Are you innocent by standing by, watching somebody get raped or robbed, and you got a camera on, and you're video cameraing it? You videoing it, cameraing it. See what sugar does? Bzzz.
Well, I don't know. I just know probably tomorrow is going to be interesting, because I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, the Pope might die. In other news.
Yeah, because he's
apostate.
He had some respiratory thing, and now it's pneumonia. And
yeah, he's got COVID, just like everybody else. He's old.
now it's sepsis.
Yeah, well,
that was the latest thing they said, I think.
He's apostate. He's not a pope anymore. He went against the Bible a long time ago, and that's it.
Yeah. So I don't know.
He's the highest, person.
Probably be worse than him.
Yeah. I pray for his soul that he repents before he goes to see his master. I pray that he is saved, and that his repentance is genuine, and that the Lord accept it. But I don't know, man. In leadership, Ananias and Sapphira, they just denied the Holy Spirit, and they were killed. This guy went clearly against the Bible.
Well, really, the last few of them have a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know what they're doing really.
You know,
I don't know.
pretty scary stuff, man.
And then the Ukraine thing. That's
What's going on in Ukraine? I heard Russia got their butt whooped on something. I just saw that.
Yeah.
Russia got wiped out. Major attack wiped out. And the U.S. was attacked by the Houthis. Again.
I didn't think they had anything left to attack with because you haven't heard too much.
And they're just going to bomb them again.
Yeah.
Fucking idiots. God. Yeah. You know, Iran's going to, I think they're going to hit Iran, man.
Well, could be coming anytime.
Oh, Kash Patel got sworn in by Pam Bondi. I didn't know that. They're buddies, you know that?
Yeah.
They work together and they're good people. Yeah, I like him. I think he's going to clean up the FBI. He already told 125 of them to go, hey, you're being deployed into the field. What? Yeah. You're going to show up in these other cities. You're going to help the other cities beat the crap out of these bad guys.
Yeah, and supposedly the IRS and the post office are going to get replaced by AI, I guess. That's the scuttlebutt.
Yeah. You know what? Why does taxes got to be so? I mean, I worked on taxes all day today. Yeah. Oh my God, it's so complicated, dude.
Well, and somebody said.
I mean, I run a business though, and I have write-offs.
Yeah, you know? There was no IRS before World War I, so why do we really need it?
Well, you know why they had it? Because they used tariffs. They 100% U.S. used to use tariffs.
Yeah, but
and then they instituted something called the IRS to get money out of us, to rob Americans, to pay for the war reparations. That's what it was for.
Same thing in Canada, because it started in Canada in World War I.
Yeah, you guys keep having a new constitution. I don't know what constitution you're on. What, number 3 or 4?
Well, it's going to be the Carney Constitution next.
Oh, God. Carnival?
Yeah. Carney Constitution.
Yeah, that's a carnival.
Mark Carney's going to be the new.
Oh, yeah.
New PM, and he said he's going to put the emergency act into effect as soon as he's PM. So that's like Mark.
No.
Yeah, that's what he said here the other day. So everybody's saying, what? You got the emergency act for what? He wouldn't say. So basically the liberals are going to be in there forever now.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. And he's never even been elected, and he's lived most of his recent years outside of Canada. He's been over in England and at the WEF.
Well, the Oracle is saying that the Ukraine shocked Russia by revealing a new weapon. It looks like a laser weapon. Whatever.
Well, yeah, they've said that they have laser weapons, but I know that the Russians tried to launch their advanced missile at Kiev multiple times, and it blew up after got there. So I don't know what caused that. So Putin's not happy. So I don't know. So either something is shooting the missiles down, like right after they take off, or
yeah,
don't know how it's happening. Like they're still shooting drones and other stuff and other missiles at Kiev and the other cities, but
yeah,
the hypersonic ones don't seem to be working too good now for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're just so many things going on around the world, makes it pretty difficult. Um, yeah.
Yeah. So
There, I mean, I'm looking out on the internet, and I see a lot of fear mongering.
Yeah.
I see a lot of clickbait, and it's not necessarily journalism. I don't know that we're doing journalism, but a large portion of what we do is journalism. We're just journaling, not gerbling, but journaling.
We're talking about the current events that happen,
Current events, yeah.
giving an opinion, whatever it is.
Yeah, commentary.
Yeah.
And prefacing it with that it's our opinions and how we view what's being said.
Well, technically, that's what the news media is doing too, with whatever slant
Sure.
they're coming from. Anyway.
Yeah. What else we got here?
Well, there's some things that like earthquakes or natural disasters, there's not really a slant to it, unless you're talking about the slant of curve of the fault or something. So I guess there is a slant too. But it doesn't care about what it's shaking up, whether you're
right
side of the fence you're on. Same with volcanic eruption or an asteroid hitting or whatever. It really doesn't care what we think. We can have an opinion, but it really doesn't matter to it. That's how it is.
Right. What do you call it? I'm hearing an echo again. Iceland is not erupting yet.
No.
Santorini is slowing down. Etna has picked up a little bit, and
Yeah, all the tourists are flocking to Etna, so I don't know. They want to see the lava, I guess.
They want to see the lava, man. Yeah.
Ever since those skiers went up there and were quiing right beside.
What's that? What's that one that's on the island just behind Etna? That can't be Flagree.
Stromboli.
It's erupting too.
Yeah,
Saw a video of that. I don't know if that's recent or. That's the problem with some of these videos. It's like, oh yeah, it's erupting. Okay, let me check it out. Oh shit, that's 2 years ago.
Well, usually Etna and Stromboli act up together because they're not too far apart.
Right.
Yeah.
It looks like Silky saying the volcanic eruption will be without notice. And that's what the Icelandic guy said.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of what it's done the last couple times, right? There hasn't been too much.
Right, it happened really fast. Yeah. Did you see Professor Nick's class today?
No, I never saw the one today because that was when I came doing the wood. I never watched it.
I was working too, but I watched a good portion of it, and it's not answering what I need. Why the uplift?
Yeah. Well, did he end up doing 2 episodes on calderas then?
No.
No, he didn't.
He let. Yeah, it was calderas, and he went on a lot about the Washington calderas, but he left the time scale. He went all the way back to in the 40s, in the 30s.
Well, yeah, it just depends on when it was blowing up, right?
Right. And then he goes into the trouble of saying, well, if this thing blew up here, then there should be some remnants down there. That's the thing that I ask too. I don't know what the hell, we got an echo in here.
But see, I don't know why they were blowing up at all those different times. So it's the same question.
Yeah.
Because there wasn't any stuff colliding at those times. So there's got to be some reason why there's a magma blow through that they don't know. It's just a caldera is a bigger magma blow through, really.
Right.
So I call it a whole different thing now. I made up a whole term. It's all magma blow throughs. It doesn't matter if it's a fissure eruption, a little stratovolcano, or a caldera making eruption. It's all the same thing. It's just a question of how much blows through.
Well, let's see what else. I saw Bartabunga 5.2.
Well, they say
Kilauea is not
They say
erupting
it's-
anymore.
swarming after the 5.2, but
Uh,
not like big
sons of bitches.
swarms, like twos.
Yeah. Mm.
But there's a lot of stuff that's been swarming hasn't erupted yet, so you don't know if that's what it's going to do or not. And it goes down and it goes up.
Yeah.
And one of the things I was in, they were talking about swarms at volcanoes, and they said the Tonga one actually went quiet for 3 weeks before it blew.
Hunga Tonga Happy Eye?
Yeah.
I called that a year and a half before. I said, hey, look, watch this sucker. And we watched it about 6 months before. And then
And it had been going like swarming for quite a while off and on. I forget how many years. It said in one of the articles I read.
oh, yeah.
Yeah. Like it would have like swarms and then it would calm down and then it'd be okay for a little bit. Then it would swarm again and then it would take a break before it finally flew. And I forget what year they said it started. I think it's like 2018 or something like that. When they actually started noticing it, and then they went out there to study it like a year before that it blew up. So they actually went to the islands before it blew up. The Tonga seismovolcanic people up there.
Yeah, they were lucky to be alive when that thing blew up, dude. They were on that boat. Just crazy.
Yeah. Well, and they'd been there like the year before too to the actual islands because I think I can't remember how long the documentary was that I saw when they went there. I think it was like a half an hour, 45 minutes because they were explaining all about how the islands were. Of course, they're all different since it blew up.
Right.
So
I do not know why I have an echo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know because it just started doing it again. So I don't know.
Yep. There's
Not as bad as
definitely-
what it was first
Well,
thing.
I'm trying to stay low key. But yeah, we have an echo. I can't trace it. I've been trying to trace it.
And I put the Tumblr thing link in there too, so people want to go look.
Right. I saw that. Well,
There's
anyway.
all good articles there to read and stuff. A lot of them we've already talked about before. But
I think I just found it. Yeah, it's always that thing. Yeah, I mean, we can follow that up on that on what do you call it? Wednesday.
Yeah.
Um,
they have one in there about the Caribbean Sea quake and where
sure.
exactly it was and in between certain things. And they even go all the way back to 75 or 76 when Guatemala had its big quake. Because if you extend that fault out, it actually connects to all these other ones. That was,
Yeah.
I forget what size it was, 7.6 or 7.7 on land in Guatemala. So they were basically looking back 50 years in that article.
Oh, yeah.
And to see if there was like any connections between on land Guatemala and the quakes that happened offshore.
Excuse me.
on that Swan Islands fault that comes off once you go out in the water, and then it goes to where there's a rift that goes between Jamaica and the Watson Fault Zone or whatever they call it.
Yeah. That northwest to southeast one.
Yeah. So then they were showing on the map they had in there, like where all the big quakes were all along that section the last like 50 years. So it's pretty crazy stuff.
Well, maybe we'll jump on it tomorrow. My eyeballs are just killing me.
Yeah.
Even with the glasses on, with all the anti-glare that I got in these glasses.
Yeah.
I can't look at the bright lights anymore.
And I'm tired after
You had Chuck Wood, man. How much wood did a Canuck chuck?
Yeah, well, we did. My sister came out too, so we did.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Half the pile that's left outside. So.
All right. Well, you're getting there, buddy.
Yeah.
All right. How many cords you got?
Now I gotta pile up all the stuff we threw in first. Throw in more. So there's probably, I'd say, probably a cord and a quarter left.
And no more disco balls and laser shows, Timmy says.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah, wait, I got that one going on because it's subtle. I got my eyes closed most of the time in these glasses even.
Yeah. And at least now when I put the wood in the furnace during the daytime, it lasts longer.
LED lights are not good for you. Okay. Thank you, Manduvira. Yeah. It's they're terrible, man.
Yeah, that's why I don't like driving at night anymore.
I got garage lights on, and I think they're probably LED because I was going through a lot of paperwork today and then working on Excel spreadsheets, working on tax programs, and looking up,
too much light.
Still a lot of work. Yeah.
Because the LED lights are so bad now, they can burn your retina.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what people are saying. Yeah.
Well, I spent too much time. Natural light, the sunlight, I'm good with. If I'm out, I'd rather read with a natural light. But
and people that are driving a lot at night now are starting to see extra lines.
Oh, really?
Other stuff, yeah, from the LED lights messing up. So, like truck drivers or people that drive at night.
Wow.
Are starting to have all these weird issues. So, I don't know.
That ain't good.
Yeah. Because this LED light thing is like a new thing. When you look it up.
Rest your eyes. Yeah, I have to rest my eyes. That's, they're hurting really bad right now, actually.
For me, I don't find it as bad like when I'm on a divided highway where there's like space between the other.
Oh, yeah. We have 2-lane highways around here, boy. Look out.
Yeah, but just the 2-lane ones where you meet them coming towards you at nighttime, it's not good.
No.
So it was so bad one morning when I was driving to the garage to get the vehicle fixed, and it was raining, like 8 o'clock in the morning or 7:30, whatever time it was still dark, and I had to stop because it was just the vehicles with LED lights were just like, it was terrible. It was like spreading all out and blinding me. I couldn't.
Right.
I had to wait in the parking lot of the place I pulled off and waited till it got a little bit daylight, and then it wasn't as bad. But
right. Yeah, I have. I don't like to drive at night at all, dude. Because I drive my daughter to work in the morning, and I have to roll the windows down, look up both ways. So, because a lot of people here don't drive with the lights on.
Yeah.
I don't want to get T-boned, so
whatever it was doing, it was like pouring rain. It was like making it worse. It was like it was spreading the LED light headlights on the vehicles.
Yeah.
Right out. I don't know what it was doing.
Yeah.
It was like
Well, we
blind.
drive at 25 miles an hour here in the local area, but
And this was like in town with street lights.
I couldn't believe how the time flew today too. I was on the computer about 9 hours a day, so my eyes are really tired. And I got up early today, got on here because I know I needed to do a class this morning. I call it class, but the Professor Nick, I'm the only one who calls him Professor Nick, but Nick Zittner, his show came on at 9 o'clock. It ended late. It was 2 hours a day.
Yeah.
And I had walked away when he was doing the quick Q&A to talk to the neighbor real quick. Came back, it was already done, so I had to fix that. An hour later, I came back, started doing taxes. That had to be about 12. And I didn't stop until 6. So that's 6 straight hours doing taxes. I got to I don't do the bills. My wife does.
Yeah.
So I got to make a spreadsheet. Okay, this, and this. This is what's right off and this is what's not. Thank you, Timmy.
Well, if Trump gets rid of all the IRS people, nobody will get the refunds.
They just hired 85,000 of them. They only dropped 6,000 people. So this crap about, he's fired everybody. It's not. He's only dropping 3,000. And those people were on what do you call it? On probation.
Yeah.
They didn't show up to work. Gone.
Well, I don't think we're going to end up paying taxes here because everybody's ID that we had all got hacked. So we got a message here like a month or so ago that you got to sign up all new for Revenue Canada again. So people said we're not doing that. Screw that. Because apparently Revenue Canada got hacked and they have to redo everybody's ID all over again.
Hello, Tim.
Site. And then people that normally do their taxes early, because there are people that do that, they go to the site and they can't sign in even with the new ID.
And Vera, where are you from? You in Hawaii, or you say Mahalo?
So I don't think
that's Hawaiian. Might be Samoan.
The website's all screwed up, so they can't send anything to it.
Yeah.
And they said the last thing it's not going to be fixed till February 28th, the site, so you can sign into it. Well,
you guys, you freaking Canucks, man. I don't know what your problem is.
So nobody's going to be even paying any taxes here. Well, nobody's got any money to pay taxes anyway. And everybody's power bills is like 3 times the normal.
Well, join the club, dude.
So
I looked at how much I paid last year in 24 in electricity. $3,600 in electricity last year. That's a lot of money.
Well, and the bestie said today, she goes, our bill's $800. She said the highest we've ever had it before was $300.
$800?
Yeah, hers went up $500 in the last month.
That can't be, man. Something's wrong.
So
I know ours has increased pretty dramatically, but yeah, I paid $3,600 last year in electricity. I think it's on the other computer.
Water and sewer bill came and it went up.
Shoot,
$100. So it's like $550 for the year, and now it's $650.
Oh, you know what I pay?
Yeah.
You wouldn't believe it. I pay $107 a month. Water, sewer, and trash. $107 a month.
Water, sewer.
Yeah. Sewer is the most expensive.
Yeah. Everybody's property tax, ours went up. Well, we just got the assessment on it, not how much we got to pay in tax, but ours went up like $3,900
a year.
Yeah, for its price, what it was last year assessment.
Well, they say your property value went up.
Yeah, like $3,900.
Okay, so that's not very much taxes on top of you, but ours did about 12,000. So we had to pay more. Our value went up on our house according to the taxes.
Yeah.
But the value in the house is nominal now. I mean, I've done some upgrades, but you know, I still don't have all my stuff done. Property tax doubled. Yeah, it's based on your state. We pay 10% of 10% here in AZ.
Well, here it's province, but same idea. So the province just comes up with more ways to screw you over, just like the
I thought
municipality.
New Brunswick was kind of a conservative area, but it's not, huh? Maybe you have to move to Alberta. Alberta's going to become a 50th state. You know that, right?
The part of the province that I'm in is conservative, but then
Alberta's going to become our 51st state.
Yeah, then you go north, and it's the French people, so they're all liberal. And
they're frogs, man. They're frogs.
And then if you go to Moncton, St. John, Fredericton, Moncton's always.
My longest friend's a Canadian. He's a Canuck too, but he immigrated to the U.S.
Yeah. And Fredericton and St. John flip between liberal and conservative.
Yeah.
So that's why in the last provincial election now the liberals are in. And as soon as
it was corrupt. It was corrupt. When he got in there, he blew somebody. You know he was blowing people left and right. They had to pump his stump 20 times. But he was blowing people.
Premier here is a woman now.
Yeah, Premier is a woman. Yeah. Alberta is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she got in as a liberal, and she said, "Oh, we're going to do all this stuff." And then when she saw the book, she said, "No, we can't do anything. We're losing way too much money." So now she's not doing anything.
Yeah, your country is God. And I had hopes for you guys for a long time, but with Trudeau in there.
Well, he's done March 9th, but then we're going to have.
Yeah, come on, he's not done. He just handed the baton to somebody else to run your country into the ground.
Because Mark Carney was his main advisor, and then he went to the UK to be the Bank of England guy. So that's where he was until he came back to Canada to take over from Trudeau.
I think we can steal BC, we can steal Alberta, and we can steal Saskatchewan. We can leave the French have all the other ones.
Yeah, half of BC is conservative, but the closer you get to Vancouver, it's liberal NDP wacko. So
yeah, well,
like all the cities, every city's like even in Alberta, Edmonton and Calgary, the two biggest cities, liberal. Now
we'll take the Yukon too. Yeah, we'll take the Yukon as well, and Nunavut. We'll take Greenland as well.
Ontario, if you go out in the country.
Why not? Take it all. Take it all. Denmark can't
for federal. It just depends.
Northwest Territory, yeah.
Who people vote for in Ontario and Quebec, because they have the most seats. So that's whoever wins the elections. It goes by that.
Well, excuse me. That's it. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us this Saturday Night Rabbit Hole. Sorry,
and Ontario has potential
election out of it, but my boy Canuck, do you have any last words to say there, buddy?
Nope, I can't think anything else. This tomorrow's going to be an interesting day in the Middle East.
Yeah, we'll find out. We may do a special report tomorrow, so stay alive, everybody. Remember, don't get none on you, and tell somebody you love them. I love you. Thanks, Canuck. You're a good sport, buddy.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, bud.